The trailer for the Patrice documentary just came out.
Right. Yeah, let me see that.
All right.
The Patrice documentary. It's going to be on Comedy Central. I'm not sure when.
All the time he took it too far.
All the
But
time.
that was part of his charm.
Oh my God, I'm finished. See that white woman there? I'm done. My career's over. She look like she writes letters to the governor and shit.
Patrice was a genius who constantly shot himself in the foot.
This crowd stinks. I don't really see myself as an entertainer. Like, I realize I don't really like entertaining people.
He said, be the truth. At all costs.
I thought I would have a white slave button. I thought big old fat white girl gonna warm my bed up. Get upstairs, Susan.
You know, he used to say this thing about, killing is easy. Once you learn how to kill as a comedian, killing is easy. Everybody in the room is laughing, but that's not what he wanted. He wanted the truth.
Hey, look, I gotta go, man. Y'all get there. Thank you very much.
God damn. Yeah, he wanted the truth. That is the truth right there.
You learn how to kill and then you learn how to be a comedian. That's why they say it takes 20 years to develop.
He wanted nothing to do with the business. He wanted nothing to do with the business.
Because it's disheartening.
It's terrible. When you talk to him about his pitch meetings at Comedy Central, which is ironic, this is on Comedy Central, that motherfucker couldn't get one pitch past Comedy Central because he couldn't sit there with these phony lumps of shit and not say something. Well, just talk about Bert Kreischer and his Twitter and things like that. That is a man who couldn't shut the fuck up when he knew damn well to shut the fuck up.
There are a couple comics that just will not, I guess you could say, sell out.
Yeah.
And because you really should sell out. I mean, there's something behind
a point.
it.
Yeah. Unless you somehow compromise some of your ideals, you're never going to get anywhere. You can't be 100%. The closest I ever saw was Louis early on in his career. Like Louis C.K. was really just like, fuck you, I want to do it this way. Well, then we're not doing it. Okay, fuck you, I'll do it myself.
So he changed. He changed the game doing
it.
But he played ball a long time.
But he did. He played ball a long time. But when fame came knocking and real success,
it was two girls.
It was two girls. He invited them in and jerked off.
They were knocking to get out.
When fame came knocking, he threw the lock on the door and they couldn't leave. Oh, God. Yeah, but here's what happened. After the scandal, he had to make concessions that I know he didn't want to make. Yeah. The apologies, the shit like he went out to clubs and people were pissed that the club owners like Noam at the Cellar were actually having him in. Oh, I didn't hear that Louis was going to be here. I want my money back. Fuck off. But then Louis even knew, oh, fuck, now I got to kind of make concessions. So everyone gets put in that position. Patrice, I don't think I ever saw him make one fucking concession and do something he didn't honestly want to do. He would just tell people to go fuck themselves. Or he'd do it, but he'd let the person know he didn't want to do it. You suck. He doesn't like you. This is that was Patrice. And when Jim Norton says shoot himself in the foot, he was constantly doing that. Spike Lee told him that.
Spike
Chris
Lee
Rock
put him in.
Told him that.
Yeah, 25th Hour.
Yeah. Put him in that. He's like, what is this guy doing? I want you for other projects and shit, but you gotta play. You can't walk into the producers and tell them they're all piece of shit Jews that should fucking died in the Holocaust.
Well,
he just said horrible things to people.
He probably walked off Furry Vengeance and realized he didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, that's another thing, you know?
Every now and then, everybody's got to take something that just pays the bills.
He would take that shit and know what it was, but his true fucking love.
Well, there's
was
nothing wrong with
stage.
it, really.
Like he loved getting on a stage and doing stand-up and giving the people new shit that they hadn't heard and listening to them howl with laughter. That's what he gave a fuck about. Not making sure that he makes a lunch with the person he's going to pitch an idea to and all. Like the business part of it, he fucking hated that nonsense.
Well, he Elephant in the Room, and I stand by this,
so
is
good.
probably the best special ever. At least it's on par with a lot of them. Like, it is a mind-blowing,
Brilliant.
funny special.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't largely improvised, it sure as hell seems like
It seems like it, right?
Yeah.
And it was that was pure Patrice, and it was like that was him comfortable on stage. That was him having a great fucking set and comfortable with himself on stage. Because there are times, especially early on, you'd look at him and go, yeah, he's just annoyed up there right now. Or
Sure.
he's fucking pissed or something. But, man, he was just smooth as silk that when he recorded that one.
Well, yeah, and he was talking about getting like the HBO half hours and late night, and he's like, yeah, they all came late.
Yeah.
It's like by the time he got them, he didn't give a shit to have them.
Yeah,
So it was like,
exactly.
it didn't matter to me.
Didn't care. At some point, you reach an age because, how old was he? 40?
When he died, I think, late 30s or early 40s, right?
I don't remember how.
41.
41.
Yeah, 41.
Yeah. That's a pretty significant time in especially a comic's life.
When he was in it for like 22 years or
Yeah, because you're going to start thinking like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, is it working? Am I making any headway here? So you'll want to whittle the nonsense down to the bare fucking minimum and get right to the shit that's going to work for you in a career. So all that other nonsense has to go away. And he loved being on stage, and it showed. Elephant in the Room. Like
that's a good point. You do
Arguably
watch
great.
people that mail it in, and you do watch people that are doing something for the audience.
Yeah.
And not in the sense of entertaining them, like he said. You're just doing it.
Yeah.
You're just dancing.
Dude, you're a comic in your mid-20s. You have plenty of time to take stupid meetings.
Oh, yeah.
To write, to have dumb pitch meetings and talk with this guy and travel out to somewhere where you know nothing's going to happen, but you'll meet someone that maybe you'll do. Once you hit your 40s, you start going, I don't have time for that fucking nonsense. Like, I have to do what I think is best for my career. So you stop kind of listening to a lot of other people and do what you want to do. But Patrice was pretty pig-headed the entire time. But when he hit that, when he was starting to border on 40 and get into that area, he really said, I'm just not putting up with this shit anymore. I'm not dealing with it.
No, and
Apparently doctors were the same thing.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not dealing with that bullshit.
he's like, hey, yeah.
It might have helped. Maybe some insulin, dummy.
Putting down the Reese's cups.
Oh, my God. Yeah, put down the goddamn candy bars.
Just bought a house, too. I remember him talking about that on your show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was living large.
No, it's like when I came on here with you and then with you and Artie, there's just you guys came from a thing where I would listen as a fan, and that's when you kind of learned the back and forth and how to be on your toes and what makes you a good improviser or good on stage
or else
is
you're dead.
You're fucking, dude, it's so intimidating, especially the first time I came in to meet you, I'm just like, oh, fuck. Because all I know is the horrible things that you've all said.
Oh, we've all said horrible things about each other. God, that's true.
No, but there's a point where you just want to be funny. You just want
Yeah.
freedom, and you just,
Yeah.
it's not so much, because I took more shit than I think a lot of people did, and then when I got here, I did.
Yeah.
And it's like, I took a lot of shit from people, and you just get to a point where you're like, I don't fucking care anymore.
Yeah. Don't care. Some of the greatest times was sitting in a room with those guys, and like you're getting piled on. You're the target of the moment,
Right.
and if you could say something that makes the room laugh and turns everyone's attention to the person you just shit on, there was no better feeling than seeing guys like Patrice and Colin and Norton.
Oh, yeah.
And all those motherfuckers, Voss, DePaulo, to see all those motherfuckers genuinely laugh and then turn their viciousness on the person you just shit on, like, you're like, holy fuck.
It had to be the
That was
most
the greatest thing to ever happen.
relieving thing in the world.
Yeah.
Because we all put up a thick skin with this part room. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, it was so awful. What horrible human beings. The shit that would come out of the mouth, because they'd start, and especially if you're getting shit on, you're looking for anything. anything.
Yeah.
To go, like, what can I get? I got to get these assholes off of me. What can I pick on of someone else that's going to turn their attention? You're like jackals. You want to throw a piece of meat. So you're not the meal of the day. So, but to have them all genuinely laugh was, it didn't get better than that. It did not get better than that. And, I'm
There was
so happy and proud and glad to have been part of that,
It should be. There was no better radio. I mean, people can
Yeah, that
argue the
was
Stern
just-
and everything, but there was never any better radio than that.
There were days where those guys would be in where I swear you'd look and go, okay, you'd hear brr, 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 the music starts and we start the show. And next time you looked at the clock, 3 hours went by like that.
Yeah.
Because you were in a battle. You're listening to some of the funniest guys in the world. You're in the middle of it. And you're just trying to keep your head above water. And the time flew by. And they made classic shows that are still being circulated online. And
Oh, yeah,
people
you would
constantly
get-
sending me clips and shows that
Oh,
are like,
yeah.
dude, this is one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
I remember it was a couple times, but one time you got a black caller who was completely siding with you, and then Patrice called in to just hand that guy his ass. It's like, you Uncle Tom, motherfucker.
Yeah, what the fuck? You're agreeing with that racist
Fucking
motherfucker?
bullshit. And that was fucking hilarious. It was such a good comedy dynamic that I think that's what people are not realizing anymore, that you have to have.
And people don't really, like, we talk about all the people that they're offended by this and, the comedy, there's no place for this in comedy. You can't talk about that. This is never funny, whether it's rape or this is that. It's like, no. Any fucking thing is funny in the context of comedy and done by somebody that's funny. You could make anything funny. But now nothing can be funny because someone is offended by anything you'll say. So
Absolutely.
That room with all those guys I mentioned in it is a thing. It's a fucking thing of the past.
Well, you're trying to get.
Sad.
Yeah, it's strange because you do want the audience to like you. You want to work. You want to build a fan base.
Right,
and now
right.
it's a kind of a different thing. Like, there's not just a tough crowd and people know who you are or just one show. There's so much shit, though, that you can be on and do and has a niche market.
Yep.
That I'm curious if the pandemic whittles it out. Because even the number of podcasts, it's
I
just,
hope so. I hope it
there's
kills them
literally
all.
over 1 million. And you're like, why?
Yeah, why? Podcasts today are like stand-up comics were in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Just get a brick wall and a thin tie and you're a stand-up comic. And within a few years, the cream rose to the top. You got people like Seinfeld and whatnot out of that whole crew. And the shit are dusty pictures on the wall at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see that with podcasting too.
Oh, you see it with people, at least in the early 2000s, that I started with who are just gone, and now it just seems they stay around forever because the camaraderie is turned to, instead of ball busting or letting you know how bad you are, it's coddling how bad you are into saying that it's good.
Yeah. That's good. That's
brave.
Yeah, the laughter turned into this. Yes, what a great point the stand-up comic just.
Whenever, it always has made me cringe since I started, but people will get off stage, especially newer comics, and they're like, got 6 applause breaks, and it's like, I would rather have a groan.
You'd have gotten 7 if you shot yourself in the head.
Exactly.
You fucking pretentious douchebag.
That'd just be me.